Welcome back to the channel where we chase the most interesting stories from the auction block and the garage floor. And today we are looking at a situation that perfectly illustrates the skyrocketing state of the classic car market. We often talk about dream cars and the prices people are willing to pay for them, but today we are talking about a price that someone was notably not willing to accept. We are focusing on a stunning 1959 Chevrolet Impala, a vehicle that is arguably the peak of American automotive design excess, which recently went under the hammer. The bidding war was intense, the numbers climbed rapidly, and when the dust settled, a massive offer of $92,000 was on the table. For most people, that is a life-changing amount of money, enough to buy a brand new Corvette Z06 or a luxury SUV. But for the owner of this specific Impala, 92 grand was simply not enough, and the reserve remained unmet. This leaves us with a fascinating question to explore today. What exactly goes into a build like this that makes a near six-figure offer feel like a lowball? To understand that, we have to take a deep dive into this specific machine, because this is far from a barn find or a survivor. It is a high-level Restomod that blends the atomic age style of the late 50s with the reliability of modern engineering. Let us start with the visual impact of the car, because the 1959 Impala is, without a doubt, one of the most recognizable shapes ever stamped in steel. This was the year Chevrolet went all in on the batwing rear fins, a design cue that defined an era of optimism and jet-age inspiration. The example in question is finished in a glorious shade of Roman red, a color that seems to vibrate with energy, perfectly contrasted by an ermine white roof and side spear accents. The bodywork appears to be laser straight, which is crucial on a car with this much surface area. There is nowhere to hide imperfections on those massive quarter panels. The chrome work, and there is a lot of it on a 59, looks to be in show quality condition. But as you look closer, you realize this isn't stock. The stance is lower, more aggressive, hunkered down over a set of shot-staggered wheels wrapped in Diamondback Redline tires. This stance is courtesy of a modern air ride technology system, allowing the driver to drop the car for the show field or raise it up for cruising, solving the age-old problem of scraping those beautiful exhaust tips on every speed bump. However, the real reason the seller turned down $92,000 likely lies under the hood and in the chassis fabrication. The original 348 cubic inch V8 is gone, and in its place sits the darling of the Restomod world, a 5.7-liter LS1 V8. While some purists might groan at the loss of the original powertrain, the market has spoken clearly on this. Buyers want cars they can drive. The LS1 provides reliable, fuel-injected power that starts every time you turn the key, offering a level of usability that a carbureted engine from 50 years ago just cannot match. This modern heart is mated to a 4L60E automatic transmission, providing overdrive for highway cruising. This means you can take this massive land yacht on a cross-country road trip without the engine screaming at high RPMs. The power is sent to the rear wheels through a robust Curry 9-inch rear end, a component known for being bulletproof. To handle the go, you need the stop, so the builders installed Willwood disc brakes at all four corners, a massive safety upgrade over the original drums that ensures this heavy cruiser can actually stop in modern traffic conditions. Moving to the interior, the investment continues to pile up. The cabin has been completely reimagined while paying homage to the original aesthetic. Gone are the flat bench seats, replaced by custom-bolstered bucket seats upholstered in premium red leather. A custom center console runs through the middle, housing the controls for the air ride system and cup holders, a luxury unheard of in 1959. The dashboard retains its iconic shape, but now is fitted with Dakota digital gauges, which provide accurate readouts while looking sharp and modern. You also get a high-end audio system with Bluetooth connectivity, vintage air climate control to keep the cabin cool, and power windows. Essentially, the builders have taken the experience of driving a modern luxury sedan and wrapped it in the sheet metal of a 1959 icon. When you start adding up the cost of the LS swap, the paint and bodywork, the custom upholstery, the air suspension, and the thousands of hours of labor required to put it all together, it becomes easier to see why the seller might have nearly $150,000 invested in this project. The auction result, or lack thereof, highlights a specific tension in the collector car market right now. We are seeing a divergence between driver-quality classics and high-end builds. A standard, nice-condition '59 Impala might sell for $60,000 or $70,000, but a comprehensive Restomod like this is a different beast entirely. You can't replicate this car for $92,000 if you started a build today. The labor rates at professional hot rod shops, combined with the cost of parts and the price of a donor car, would push the bill well into the six figures. The seller knows this. They are likely looking for a buyer who understands that paying, say, $110,000 for a finished car is still cheaper than building it yourself and waiting 2 years for completion. It's a game of patience. The seller is betting that the right person will come along who wants a turnkey trophy winner and is willing to pay the premium for immediate gratification. Furthermore, the 1959 model year holds a special place in the hierarchy of Chevrolet history. It was a one-year-only design. By 1960, the fins were toned down and the teardrop taillights were replaced. The '59 is the most extreme, the most flamboyant, and, for many, the most desirable. The cat-eye taillights alone are pieces of automotive art. Because of this unique status, the '59 Impala is somewhat insulated from market crashes. There will always be a demand for the Batwing Chevy. This specific car, with its blend of Roman red paint and modern LS power, ticks all the boxes for the current trend. It's beautiful enough to win a local car show and reliable enough to drive 3 states away to a national event. That duality is what drives the price up. So, where does that leave us? The car remains unsold, likely sitting in a garage while the owner waits for a 6-figure offer. It serves as a reminder that in the world of high-end customs, the highest bid isn't always the winning bid. The rejection of $92,000 is a bold statement of confidence in the quality of the build and the enduring value of the mark. It tells us that the market for top-tier Restomods is still strong, but sellers are not desperate. They know what they have, and they are willing to wait for the money that reflects the blood, sweat, and tears poured into the metal. We'll keep an eye on this listing to see if it resurfaces or if a deal is made behind closed doors, but for now, this Roman red beauty remains a high-priced piece of forbidden fruit.